to claim it, the first team to claim it, as we see the Fish Fam with their silver llama. The first team, the only team to claim the golden llama is going to walk away as the champions here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, you kind of teased it a little bit. What are these remixes things that we're kind of talking about? You know, what does that mean for the games? Don't even worry. We got you guys covered. We're going to break it all down for you. So, remixes. We're basically going to go back through and play a match of every single match type.
Yep.
But there's going to be something different about them. So starting with Sky Station Showdown, the remix for that is that all players can earn points, not just your sword bearer. That is going to be playing a big factor. We've also upped the typical 1,000 points needed up to 3,000. Follow, we've also got Junkyard Juke. Do you want to talk about that one?
Absolutely. In Junkyard Juke, we're going to be playing it again, but you can only use large props. So it might look a little bit silly, but what it means is that it's going to be all the more difficult to score. But at the same time, each large prop is worth 10, so we're not going to see those, small increments between each other. So leads can get large, or they can just stay very small because it's so difficult.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, we're going to hit the world run one more time. But the remix is that players do not respawn. That's right. They're going to have one life.
Brutal. That is so hard. We saw how many people struggled, even, to get past that first couple obstacles. So difficult. If they have one life, it's going to be so difficult. But we are going to be hopping into the first game of the Golden Games. It's Sky Station Showdown with a remix that everybody can earn points. Here we go.
Go ahead and count us in here. If you're hanging out at the stadium, we've got 3, 2, 1. And the remix of Sky Station Showdown is underway. 15 minutes counting down. So don't forget, we have a new total cap. That is 3,000. And the remix is that anyone for your team can accrue points. This also stacks, by the way. So if you and your squad are sitting on a point, you're getting 3 points per person per second. So what does that mean? Will that mean players try to push points and lock them down? What will that mean for that center point at 7 minutes that opens up? We'll have to see as the game goes on, man.
So we'll have to recall all the different strategies that these teams have, because a lot of players took it very slow. The Fish Fam tried to contain the 1 point. Same thing with the Little Whip Warriors. Same thing with also the Cuddle Crew. But we also had the Llama Record Company all trying to buy and really push for that center point when it opened up. Right now, the initial control point fights are going down. Raven's Revenge has got one. Sunshine Soldiers have gotten one. And the Funky Fighters as well, but not before getting contested. Here's all the second wave.
And Blood going in, going to start swinging the sword. Can he chop them up? Danyan instead says, not today, friends. You have all been eliminated. He's going to shut down one there as well. Bensor going to be shut down. And you've got the Llama Record Company like, hey, what's going on up here? Nope, Danyan is prepared. She saw you coming. She heard the DJ scratches. Back to the island you go.
And remember, it does accumulate no matter who is on the point, and also it stacks. So all 4 players are able to grab and stay inside the point. So you'll see at sometimes 12 points at a time going through for a team if all 4 members of their squad are on the point.
That's right. Ninja racking up eliminations and will be picked up there. The team's VIP being eliminated. So this is going to drastically change the way you approach these things, right? For example, if you decide to go in and assault another team, especially if you can get that surprise angle and you eliminate all of them, you by yourself can actually lock down that point for any amount of time and start racking up points. So you can look to contest, you can look to leave a team behind, you can break up into groups. There's so many different things, so many different variables to keep in mind as we move through this.
Already some innovation here from the Llama Record Company and a couple of other teams. They're hiding a couple people inside of cones so that they will continue to contest. But I think in this mode, it might be more viable to just stay and all fight at the same time. Nobody hiding at all. And we'll see too. It kind of lends a little bit more credence to the strategy that people were employing in the first set of games when they first played the Sky Station Showdown, they would have somebody go off and try to clear a point, or at least take out their sword bearer.
Yeah.
But if they do that this time and they manage to clear out a point, they're now going to be accruing on both sides.
Yeah, and that's going to make a massive difference, right? Like, let's take a look at Raven's Revenge. They are sitting on 564 points, double of Little Whip Warriors, but they're still racking up the points right now. Ninja going to go ahead and slap Chappie back to the island. Gotaga here wants a cut of the action. It's not enough, but look, Magma also jumps into the fray. Ninja needs to get out of there, or he's going to be eliminated. Use the walls. I like this, but you do not have the HP to try and make this work. A 25. He drops Magma down based on that little jump, and look at this. Magma's like, no, friend.
You get him. Kaz comes in the back. Oh. But at the same time, another player comes through and Ninja goes down. And Raven's Revenge are holding on all corners. I don't see them controlling any one single point. Into the Cuddle Crew now in second place. They're in a battle with the Funky Fighters. This is important for everybody. The Fish Fam joining the fray as well. I think the Fish Fam may have overrun. Their School of Fish are taking out the Funky Fighters at last, but no, Suzu gets taken out too. The Cuddle Crew is going to abandon the point and maybe come right back. Suzu finally does control.
A brief moment, but not too long later, Tomoya says, hello, I would like the red point, please. And now we've got the Fish Fam over here. Suzu's is by himself. He's got a bunch of eliminations. The ball of the Cuddle Crew is coming up. They're trying to wreck him. He picks off Sandy, but unfortunately, he does fall as well.
That was terrifying. They all came over the ramp at the same time. If you're just joining us here, don't forget, we did increase the score limit up to 3,000. So if you're wondering, the Raven Revenge, they still got a ways to go, even though they are in the lead as it stands. I'm also keeping my eye out on the Llama Record Company. They're down at 300-ish points. They're going to claim 300 right now. And what they do, they always wait until the last moment, until that D point, the last point that opens up in the center, and they make a concerted push. I think that may be very, very strong, because in the first couple of games, as the Fish Fam, or as the Little Whip Warriors trying to make a push here, they're going to get shut down. The first couple of games, they just controlled it. Every single person was on that D point at the same time. They built their entire base out at the perfect moment. They were waiting for the time to pounce on that last point. Still 2 minutes until that starts to spawn.
Oh, he's going to launch the Little Whip Warrior. He is, in fact, going to shut down Taco. Look at this across the way. Magma gets picked off, and the Little Whip Warriors are back on the green point. Dude, I'm very curious to see what happens when that middle point opens up, because don't forget, it's 12 points per player of your squad on that point if you're uncontested. So you could very well see an entire squad say, the moment that's ready, jump down. We're just going to try and get a massive influx of like 48 points.
Could happen every single second down there. It's going to net you that, so it has to put to an end immediately. It seems that this point right here keeps getting under contention by like multiple teams. The Fish Fam, Funky Fighters, and of course the Cuddle Crew, who get cleaned out. So they're not earning anything really from all fighting at the same time. One team ends up coming out on top, but then it all happens again. So maybe some timing issues here in terms of synchronizing the push on this point specifically.
Yeah, I mean, this gets way more hectic when anyone can score points, right? And the Fish Fam have been doing a great job sticking together, going in as pairs, duos, if you will, and trying to shut everyone down, but that's only going to get you so far.
It kind of breaks down, too, when everybody can score, because there's so much that more important. If you're by yourself to stay on the point, in the previous iterations, if you're by yourself, you get off the point, because you can't even score.
But now you have to stick around. Look at the slaps coming out. Lachlan does take out Scissors, but does fall as well. Now Clytex is just trying to get back into the fray, get himself those height with the impulses. And now don't forget, they have a limited number of builds. It's about 100, I believe. But right now, man, you just need to be turning your attention left and right, trying to eliminate as many players as you possibly can. This remix is shaking the very foundation of this mode. And Clydex goes in, he's going to start trying to take him down. Did not go his way, though.
So this is what I'm talking about. Finally, the Fish Fam control this point that the Cuddle Crew and Funky Fighters were fighting for so hard. And they control it with all 4 players, so you could see their score rising significantly every second there. At the same time, the Llama Record Company Ravens' revenge may have trouble looming.
And look at this, Llama Record Company, Hand of Blood, is trying his hand at slaying these players, but it does not go his way. And Samoya comes in. No Llama Record Company. They stay strong. They're still racking up the points. Scissor says, no, friends. This is not allowed. You cannot continue to do this. Clytex also wants in on this as well. And Scissors beats at a timely end.
Meanwhile, the Ravens' revenge have not stopped climbing points. If they have 4 members up here, it's about even to 1 player on to that D point. So just continuing to stay there. Finally, the Little Whip Warriors, Ninja, and crew are going to clean that up and put an end to it just before they hit 2,000. But on the other side, Chicken Champions are looming. They have 4 players on a single point, not the mega point in the center. See what's going on with them. They're all working. I don't think anybody really is too worried about them, but you know, with all 4 players here, it could all of a sudden become a nuisance.
Back down on that center point. You got Hand of Blood trying his hand again. Did not go his way. Kotu is here though for the Funky Fighters. He was able to back a small amount of points, but still, every little point you can gather is going to make a difference going in the end. And look, Otaga and Ravens Revenge are back on the point. Restoring the Funky Fighters. There was 3 for just a moment. Chaos is down, just breaking out down on the center point right now, Baller.
What is this? Literally every single sword bearer and almost every single player here from the Llama Record Company is using those tactical shotguns and getting in. Again, the Ravens Revenge are on point with 4 players, just shooting down, throwing impulses where they can, and just making sure they're clearing all those points. Meanwhile, the D point, nobody has gotten anywhere since the Funky Fighters were left there for so long. It all depends how this all unfolds. Hold on, they're trying to get a base. I think they might finally break through. No, they lose and trade off evenly every single time.
4 minutes left on that timer in Bala. These guys have been uncontested. It's just now that the Little Whip Warriors want to try and make the push. But look at Otaga. He's literally just slicing through all these ice cream cones. I was going to try and say hot knife through butter, but this is ice cream. It doesn't quite work that way.
It's crazy how nobody except the Little Whip Warriors are trying to contest the Ravens' revenge right now. They are sitting on the point by themselves with 4, but again, the Funky Fighters in the center with 4 players. They are not even making any noise. They're not showing that there's anybody there. They are rising so fast. Finally, 4Turtle comes in. He spots them out, but that's not going to be enough. They shut him down immediately. They're still on the point.
They need to bunker something. They need to bunker down. Look at this. They just overturned the first spot. Someone needs to do something about this. Guys, they're taking up again. You have to go in the center. They get it.
Oh, my God. Funky Fighters again take the win here on Sky Station Showdown, the first match of the Golden Games. And that is a huge victory leading into the rest of these.
Just unbelievable. For so long, Otaga and Ravens Revenge sat on the green point completely uncontested. And then moment, everyone forgets about the center point, and that's enough for all 4 members of the Funky Fighters to sit on the point and just rise above everyone else. And by the time everyone could kind of figure out what was going on, it was too late. They stole away the first golden game.
Ridiculous. Nobody was able to spot that out. It seemed like 4Turtle was going to say, okay, guys, they're all on the point. Everybody start doing everything you can to stop them, because he saw all 4 members. They went from less than 1,000 once the D point was out to all the way up to win. And it was 400 points between them and the Ravens Revenge at the end there. Right. But you do have to also think about who else came very close in second. Ravens Revenge, who's in third. We'll be able to find out in a bit with the standings, but just an unbelievable performance there from the Funky Fighters to realize exactly what must be done. That was the second time they completely boxed up that entire D point.
Yeah, and just completely uncontested. But that's it for the first of 3 golden games. And for the Funky Fighters, they secure that win. But for now, let's send it back over to Pookie. She's standing by with the winners. Pookie, down to you.
Thank you so much, Zeke. I am down here with the Funky Fighters. Another victory. I feel like I've been talking to you guys all day, but how did you find that remix game? Because those rules were a little bit different than what you were used to. So what was your strategy going into that one, Huzi?
I mean, everything was so unexpected. We were last and we came first because we got the middle. the point system because every player gets points, and so we win. Like, it was so exciting. So exciting.
So exciting indeed. Now, Raven's Revenge was in first place for most of that match. You guys knew that you had to come up from behind. You absolutely did, but I kind of just want to talk a little bit about how there are 3 teams tied right now for first place, and the winner of this match will be taking home that is $1 million of
back, but so are these players that have taken the stage. Now, don't forget, those llamas are going to be playing a big factor in how the final $1 million prize pool is divvied out. Really touch on it perfectly, actually. Right now, there's a 3-way tie. All right, and that's something we need to take a look at with those standings, just to give you a refresher. So, Funky Fighters, Fishman, and the Chicken Champions all have that silver llama. Now, don't forget, every single match they play, they're also walking away with a prize pool that they're splitting 4 ways. That part's awesome. But man, the extra $1 million prize pool at the end will be huge. So either the Funky Fighters, Fishman, and Chicken Champions need to win that golden llama for the win, or if you're on the outside looking in, you just want that gold llama. Because if you win that llama, that means you and your team actually win that pot.
You win the $1 million final prize to create a World Cup. So all is on the line right now. Those prizings, as they shake up into the next sets, are going to be so crucial to keep an eye out. The Funky Fighters taking a good first lead. It's not enough. We've seen it time and time again in these first matches of the set. The people who win the first round don't end up coming through all the way at the end. So they have to have a consistently good performance into the next game, which is the Junkyard Group, and then into the next game too, which is the World Cup. That's right. All golden. All the golden games are the golden games. Not the golden boys, just the golden games. Now, don't forget, if you guys are watching and maybe this is the first time you're tuning in, don't forget you can watch also at Fortnite.com/watch. If you're watching the game, you can do that as well. Or if you go to Fortnite.com/watch, you can actually kind of hone in on a specific team. There's 10 different feeds to take a look at. You can say, like, you know what, I'm all about the Fish fam. I'm just going to watch their perspective. You can do that. Head on over to Fortnite.com/watch. Take a look. Here are a breakdown of your feeds right there on screen. It's an incredible new feature. I love to use it. Check it out on my phone earlier. And just unbelievable, seriously. To see all the different POVs, to see the first and second place POVs, and then also to be able to put in feed 8. You can watch Cortana in feed 4. So just an awesome feature. Go check it out. It's amazing.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know, guys. We are 1/3 of the way through the golden games. First one, Sky Station is in the books. The Funky Fighters went back to it. Now we move on to the second game. And that is the Prime Time, a.k.a. Junkyard Group. And don't forget, the remix, 10-point props.
Only the large ones. You can't go with the little crowbar. You can't go with the wood planks. You can't go with any of that. And there's one of the prizes for the teams that won before. We've got 10 seconds until the game launches. Zeke, it's the second game of our golden games here, guys. It's time.
2, 1, the game begins. Now, just a refresher, we can only do 10-point props. So let's break down what these 10-point props are. You've got up, you want to instant reload right then on the spot. Yes, you can try to make blind fires. Unless you're certain, you're like, that's a player, take the shot, absolutely. But when those blinds come up, you want to reload. You want to have as many shots as possible before that next, I guess, shade comes back up, right?
And the Ravens' revenge being the other guards, by the way. Nice shot there from Taltek.